This episode is brought to you by Bellator's Publishing, bringing stories to the world that last forever. Next thing, the demon. He was so creepy. What others could they possibly be? Maybe we should have a think about what we think the other demon gods might look like.
So far we had a trend here at the moment, insects or arachnids.
Yeah, well, I feel like there's going to be like a giant crab, like in Moana.
Well, cockroach.
Oh my gosh, that'd be awful.
Disgusting. Praymantis, yes. A giant one.
Well, like a worm. Or a slug. That would be like, ew. Yeah, womp womp.
A ladybird.
Ladybird.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to Faithfully Fantasy,
The husband and wife podcast talking all things Brimstone.
I'm JC.
And I'm Sean.
And today we carry on with our read along of Brimstone from chapters 11 to chapter 20. And just a heads up, we might use strong language and explore adult themes.
You can rest easy that there will be no spoilers from beyond chapter 20 of Brimstone. Consider us your buddy readers.
And before we start, quick reminder, if you want early access to our episodes, bonus content every month, and no annoying ads like this one, you can have all of this by becoming a supporter. You can try it for free now and cancel anytime. For the best deal, visit faithfullyfantasy.com or simply subscribe on Spotify or Apple Podcasts for instant access. Don't miss out and become part of our community.
Also, if you're enjoying the show, please take a second to rate us wherever you're listening. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, all of it. It helps more fantasy lovers find us, and it's one of the easiest ways to support what we do. A quick tap and you've made our day.
So, without further ado, shall we take another quick run through our new format and give you all a look at how we're doing things now. First, we will have Wait, What Just Happened? A segment where we give you a speedy recap of what happened in the chapters we read this week.
Next up, we have Confirmed, Cursed, or Completely Unhinged, a run through our previous theories and predictions to see if we actually got anything right.
Then, we will go to Screaming, Crying, Throwing Swords, where we just have a good old chat about what we like, what we're struggling with, and how we're feeling about the book.
After that, we will flip the pages of the Oracle's notebook, where we run through a few of our theories in the hope that we get at least something right before the end of the book.
And as we did in the last season, we'll end with questions from the Quicksilver, where we listen hard to the ethereal whispers of the Quicksilver and dig deep into our souls for the answer. Okay then, let's dive into...
Wait, what just happened? So, a quick disclaimer that people might get whiplash on this part as we flick from realm to realm throughout this summary. Turns out, Taladeus owns a pub. Who would have thought it? Where he has no choice but to publicly forgive a centuries-old debt racked up by Vorath that had a compounding interest that would make even a banker blush. After bailing out Vorath, he tells Ceres that despite being centuries old, he's too young to be her father figure, and he wants to officially break the bond between maker and maid. Next, we cross the leaves of the universe to Silvarin, where Fisher and Carrion glamour themselves to look human. We learned Carrion owns half a bank, and that he didn't know that beer should be served cold. Warm beer, anyone? They drink waiting for Vorath Shah. Remember that guy selling snake oil all the way back at the beginning of Quicksilver? Then we're whiplashed back to Ceres as she goes with Tal to the library of Amantreath. She finds out where Algat spends her time when she's not being a total nightmare of a witch in the Hall of Tears. She is keeper of records, or sole librarian to the vampire library, next to her mysterious cat, Guru, that only drinks milk, with blood in, obviously. Exit weird cat, enter Foley. Missing brother with cat eyes, not suspicious at all, and former member of the Lupoproelia appears. Sylvarin again, and Fisher, Carrion, and Vorath go to find all the silver that Carrion owns from his partnership, but unfortunately for them, it just so happens to be in the lair of Joshin, Lord of the Desert and Demon King of Dark Dreams. Turns out Vorath is Joshin's delivery driver. The demon is made of hundreds of scorpions that join to make a bigger and even more terrifying one. And if that wasn't enough, its venom causes living nightmares. Amontraeth again, and Foley finds out Ceres is not just Vampire Queen, but also mate of his former bestie, making the situation totally awkward. While bound and gagged, he agrees to help Ceres on one condition. She needs to sleep because she looks awful. It's rude, but I know the feeling. Back to the demon fight. Fisher managed to nearly defeat the monster, but needs it alive to get the antidote to living nightmares to save him and Carrion from a lifetime of naked speeches. Fisher makes himself the deal of the century with Joshin, and once again shows he would make a great lawyer. The demon is allowed to live, but only as a teeny tiny angry scorpion. Fisher and Carrion find a place to recover, drink whiskey from some glasses made by Ceres, and bond over how Carrion cannot be in love with our vampire fae queen. We get shared dreams, we get steamy shared dreams, and we get the tea on Taladeus.
This chapter, honestly, when I was reading, I was so invested in every single chapter. It was just crazy.
Yeah, me too. Like, I just couldn't wait to get back to the next one, and then I didn't want to leave, and then really confusing but great.
So good. And now let's go to Confirm, Cursed, or Completely Unhinged, the new part of the show where we either get to bank those bragging rights or have a laugh at ourselves for being way too wild with our previous theories.
So there was not much confirmed or denied this week, so we were pretty certain that there wasn't going to be a love triangle between Ceres and Carrion.
Mm-hmm.
And this, I think, was confirmed this week. We were also, I think I was pretty certain that there wasn't going to be a love triangle between Taladeus and Ceres. And the fact that Taladeus wants to break the bond between him and Ceres, to me, kind of ends that rumour. Does it?
I think so, because he's basically doing it as because he doesn't want to create problems with the bond between Fisher and Ceres. So it's pretty clear that he doesn't have any feelings for her at this point, and that he wants to keep the peace for everyone.
Or maybe he does, and he just wants to break the bond before it actually becomes a thing. But no, I think that we get confirmation here that Carrion is not in love with Ceres. Well, he loves her, but he is not in love with her. Also, I think last week I said that I thought that the Hazrax could possibly be a demon god, but I think it's pretty clear now that he isn't. So Fisher has learned all about these gods from his mother, and they seem to be modelled around creepy crawlies. So we've had Mortil in the maze, who was half spider, half fae. And then we had Joshin this week. So I think that the Hazrax is not actually a demon god.
Yeah, it seems like he's just...
creepy guy.
Yeah, very much. None of them are the attractive or the fae, it seems. The other thing that for me at the moment is still maybe a good theory. At the moment, I can't see that we can just take it out of the way. It's the part when Taladeus, maybe he was the one who attacked Loreth those time ago, and was because of him that Fisher has to give a part of his soul. That moment in the pub when Taladeus is there with Loreth and Ceres, it felt that Taladeus was there like protecting Loreth somehow, a part of this, massive debt that he has there, and he just rolled out that really easily when he's not supposed to have any feelings or any like connection or nothing to give to Loreth.
So I think he just didn't want to cause a scene. I think he wanted Ceres to get out of there without being recognized. And I feel like, I'm not convinced that this is a tick in that box, but it still hasn't been ruled out. Yeah. I just feel like he wasn't necessarily protecting Tal. He was wanting
just maybe
Ceres.
Just a good person, maybe.
Yeah, he didn't want to. He didn't want to exacerbate the situation by being like, yes, you have to pay, because Lorath was being an idiot. He was like escalating and escalating. He chopped off somebody's hand, for God's sake, and shoved it down his throat. It was like Taladeus knew that the only way was to just side with Lorath and chill out the situation. But yeah, it's not been ruled out yet, and I still like the theory.
Yeah, not sure, because he's causing more trouble, because this guy from the bar, he's going to start to telling to everyone, this faking here chopped one of our regular customers in the hand, and the boss only forgiving the debt that he had before and giving a free drink. So I think maybe the vampire...
The view, he could...
It's going to be even worse.
Yeah, maybe. Good point. The other thing we did know was that Vorath Shaw was sus.
Yeah.
He was definitely sus. We knew from the minute that Ceres ran past him in Silvarin, right at the beginning of Quicksilver, where he was selling like snake oil.
Yes.
And he claimed to have the secret to Madra's youth. We knew that he was sus at that point, didn't we?
Yes, we knew that we would see him again. That maybe he was the one who was providing to Madra the formula for living forever, because that's what he was saying in the book. So we thought, this guy, he might be a fae, or he might be somebody that had like potions or that kind of magic from the other realms. Yeah.
I have a weird, I know that this isn't the time for this, but just building on Vorath, I have a weird crackpot theory that he might be an alchemist that's gone mad with Quicksilver. Mm-hmm. Because the runes on the floor were all like old alchemist language.
Yeah.
And he was crazy. The name Quicksilver is just the old way of saying mercury. Yeah. And mercury, if you inhaled so much mercury or you were exposed to too much mercury, you did turn, like it messes with your brain.
Yes.
So they called him crazy. Mm-hmm. And I just feel alchemical vibes from this guy.
Yeah. Good call.
Now it's time for Screaming, Crying, Throwing Godswords, where we run through how we're feeling about the book, anything that we want to talk about, and any questions we still might have. So how are you feeling about Brimstone so far?
I have to say that this week with these 10 chapters, I was really enjoying everything that was going on. It felt that every single chapter was finishing in a cliffhanger. And then you go into the next one, and that was really good. And then it's finished with another cliffhanger. And then you had to go back to the other one. And then you remember, oh, yeah, I remember that it finished in this. It's really good. And it was just on and on and on. So we had a lot of information in these chapters. And you start to see the whole story is getting like brighter. You had more pieces for this puzzle.
Yeah, I felt exactly the same. I was like not ready to leave the chapter. When the chapter was finishing, I was not ready. I was like, no, I don't want this chapter to end. And then I was like, I don't want to go back to Ceres, or I don't want to go back to Kingfisher.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I came back, I was like, oh my God, yeah, I remember why I didn't want to leave the last time. It's so good.
Yeah.
I did feel like chapter 20 was like a little bit too long. It didn't have to be that long. But I was like, at that point, I was ready to go back to either way. So by the end of 20, I was definitely ready for them to wake up and to go back to Silvarin. But then because we ended on chapter 20. So we'll see what happens next week. I'm really enjoying it, and I can't wait to read on. Like, I think I love the dual POVs, and I love all of the lore that we're learning.
Yeah. I wasn't sure when I heard that she will do like double point of view. I thought that we might go like maybe half of the book will be Ceres, and then the other half of the book, it will be Kingfisher, but all in one go. Mm. So not like split once, like first Ceres, then Kingfisher, and constantly change it.
I wonder if it'll be the same all the way through the book. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite character this week?
For me, Carrion, because he made me laugh a couple of times in these chapters. Like when they're going out from Madra's palace, that he got their eyes closed and he's still with their arms extended.
That was so funny.
And Fisher was like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
It is easier to see in the dark with your eyes closed. I don't care what Fisher says. Like when you can't see, you might as well close your eyes, because then you can like focus on the other senses.
Yeah, but you're not looking at anything, so what's the point?
Well, because you can focus on the other senses. If you close your eyes, you're like, ears work better. You know, like when you need to look for a place to park or you need to look for a house and you're in the car, you have to turn the radio off so that you can concentrate. Like, otherwise your senses get overwhelmed.
Yeah.
It's true story.
Anyway, that was funny. Then the hot beer as well. That made me laugh. He was like, "Huh, I didn't know that." And it made me think as well that, yes, we now taking cold beer, but beer has been with humanity for thousands of years.
Yeah.
And fridge has been just maybe 100 years ago, something like this. So that was a normal thing before, just
In Spain,
warm
maybe.
beer.
Not in cold UK. It would only be hot for like a few days a year.
Yes, but it was funny. Then you start to see again the carrion that we saw in Quicksilver. So it's like back to the root. Plus, we start to see like a couple of things about his life as living as a human.
Yeah, and some actually probably some reasons for the way that he behaves now. It's really sad. I did a bit of a 180-degree pivot on Carrion this week as well. I felt like he jumped up the list of great characters. I love Foley. Foley might be my new favorite person. We don't know him yet, but that part where Vorath says, "No matter what, a wolf never becomes a leech," or I'm paraphrasing, but that's what is said. It made me happy cry.
Oh,
I
really?
think he's going to be a great character. I can't go through this segment without talking about Joshin as well, because he is awful, but also a really cool character.
Yeah, it was a surprise for me because when I started to listen to the audiobook and this part, one of those chapters is exactly the sneak peek that we have from the audiobook, and I thought it might be like a god talking. When we thought we're talking about
demon
sticks, maybe talking to Fisher because we're talking about shadows and dark and that kind of stuff. But yeah, what's this one?
That was a theory that was debunked this week for us.
Yes.
It wasn't Styx. I still hope we'll meet Styx at some point.
Yeah. Okay. Were there any oh my gosh moments or key talking points?
Obviously Foley. So I just mentioned that bit made me tear up in a good way. Yeah, it was cool. I knew that he was going to show up, but I didn't expect him to show up so early.
Yes, for me it was a totally surprise. First, have Foley alive, because we knew that he might be a vampire at the beginning of these chapters. But then when he was talking to Cyrus about the dagger from Kingfisher, and he knew so well Kingfisher, I still not, at that point, I wasn't getting it was Foley. I thought maybe Kingfisher had business with this guy as well, because he had business with a vampire, so why not? But then when Loreth got there and it was started to be clear that he was one of them, I'm like, it's Foley.
Yeah, so I just had a feeling as soon as he attacked Ceres, I had a feeling it was Foley. So a couple of things. I mean, I thought it was so obvious that he was the cat.
Yes.
But I don't know if that's confirmed before the end of the book. Foley lives in the library. It seemed like Algat knew who it was because she said, "I can't wait till Talladega sees us." The other thing is he doesn't have canines, so he doesn't have fangs. He also refuses to drink blood, or refuses to attack. Is he surviving on milk with bits of blood in?
Yeah. And
Algat got pretty pissed off when Ceres gave Foley... Sorry. Freudian slip. When Ceres gave Guru some blood, like pure
extra
blood
yes,
from her fingers, she knew that would cause a problem. And then, I mean, he's got cat's eyes. At first she said eyes like a snake. And as soon as she said that, I was like, what else has eyes like a snake? A cat. So then she specifically says that he has cat's eyes. I still think the Lupercalia are wolves. Like, I can't get past that, but he can also possibly be a cat.
He definitely said that he's been living there, he's been reading the books, so he's been there as a humanoid.
Yeah, but
shape.
Algat is not there all the time for vampires.
That is weird because if feel the Algar is limited, the blood the cat is drinking, is it precisely for that? Because if I give him extra blood, the cat just get wild.
You said it'll be howling all night. Howling is a word, a weird, howling is a weird term because cats don't howl.
No.
Cats like meow or mew, don't they?
Yeah. Well, howling is a canine, I think.
Yeah, howling is definitely either a dog or a wolf, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, next thing, the demon god. He was so creepy. Like, we've had a spider demon, we've had a scorpion demon. What others could they possibly be?
I wasn't sure at the beginning how to take this one because when Fisher started to asking to Vorath, what kind of demon is this one? Is this one, this one, this one, this one, this one? And then Vorath was laughing and no, it's this one. And then Fisher was like, oh shit.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, but then, there's a lot of scorpions around. I wanna, okay, it's a lot of bugs. So they're going to sting you and everything. But I was thinking that's not terrifying as maybe mortal. Then when it gets bigger, like, okay, that now change. It's still a big scorpion, but it's something that we have seen maybe in another stories. Big scorpion, there's a knife always with a sword killing. So like, I'm still thinking that maybe Fisher was exaggerating with being so concerned about this demon. But then when he started to feel the effects of the venom, like living this nightmare, I'm like, okay, now I get it why it's so terrifying.
And the dead people, like his mum and and Ren's twin sister coming back.
Yes,
and
hunting King.
Yeah, and they take on the voice of his guilt, don't they? They don't. They're not themselves. It's quite terrifying.
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe we should have a think about what we think the other demon gods might look like, and whether we'll see them before the end of the book.
So far, we had a trend here. We had first like a spider, now a scorpion. So obviously there's, at the moment, insects or arachnids.
Yeah, well, I feel like there's going to be like a giant crab, like in Moana.
Cockroach.
Oh my gosh, that would be awful.
Disgusting. I know, a mantis prey as well. Prey mantis, yes.
What about?
I like a giant one.
What about like a worm? Or a slug. That would be like, ew. Yeah, womp. Oh, yeah, I think you're right.
Ugh.
I
mean, if you think about terrifying insects.
Scarab beetle. Like a big... But that'd be in the desert, wouldn't it?
A ladybird.
Huh?
A ladybird.
A ladybird.
Terrifying.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yes.
Moving on. Carrion's backstory.
Oh, yeah. That's bad.
Yeah, so he fell in love. I thought this was extremely sad. Like, I just assumed that he fell in love. He knew that she would grow old, but he fell in love anyway because love is love. And he watched her die or he watched her grow old and die. And he had to say goodbye, and he's never loved anyone the way that he loved that woman.
Yes.
Before.
It definitely gave me the vibes from Highlander, because Highlander, before he knew that he was immortal, he got married and he spent the rest of his life with this woman, and this woman gets old and he never gets old. And then he just watches how she gets old, then how she died being old. And for him, that was just really bad. Yeah, God. And that was, I think, the first time and the last time that he got married, or it was having like a normal life.
Yeah.
And I think maybe this is one of those things that may carry on as he is. Maybe he just laughing and all the things.
Everything's surface level. He doesn't get deep.
Yes, because he maybe just trying to avoid all the deep stuff like that.
Yeah, because he wouldn't want to say goodbye again.
Yeah.
It's really sad. I don't think it's the same in that I think he knew he was Fae. So I don't think he would have not realised that he was immortal. I think he just fell in love. But
Yeah, he didn't know like what kind of mistake he was having, just living the moment. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like after this moment, Carrion is still going to piss off Kingfisher. And like, that's just the way it is. But I think we've crossed a barrier, haven't we? That, or Carrion's broken down some wall that he had with Kingfisher and he doesn't hate him as much as he did before. I think also he knows that he's not in love with Ceres and that clears the air a little bit. Yeah. Even though it was quite clear. Like, you don't say the things that Carrion says to Ceres if you actually are in love with somebody. He's just joking.
Yes. I think the problem that Fisher has that he always saw Carrion as Ceres' ex. And it wasn't even that. They had just one night and that's it. Even Sarah regretted in the end. But Fisher, for him, was always like, he touched her first, he kissed her first. There was Sarah's first, but now it's all good, I think.
But he kept the glasses that Ceres made when she was working in the forge with Elroy, which had depictions of Madra's palace on fire and all the guardians, and it showed that she was always a rebel. Like, even when she was making glass and not daggers, she was trying to find a way to upset the...
Yes, and that was funny as well, because obviously Elroy was just teaching her, but those kind of glasses, he knew that he can't sell that.
Yeah, so he had to give them away to Carrion in ways that would never find it back to him. Otherwise, he would have his hands chopped off.
Yeah.
I feel like we got a little bit of a window into Carrion's mind there.
Yeah.
I wonder if Ceres knows that Carrion has those glasses. She probably doesn't.
Yeah, I think it would be a surprise.
I was never meant to love a human. But then, I saw her. I wasn't supposed to touch that fruit, but I took it, and I ate it. I was the most loyal of angels, until I lost her. Now they call me the devil, and I'll burn heaven itself before I lose her again.
Memoirs of Luzbel, a dark fantasy novel. Book 1 of the Luzbel saga. Now available on Amazon.
Okay, so we also find out that Fisher and Ceres can communicate through dreams.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming, to be honest, because they had already the bond, they can talk mentally, so I thought that's it, that's pretty much. And it seems that it's going to happen every single time they sleep at the same time, because it doesn't look like any of them were just like trying to make that happen. It just happened.
Yeah, I think that this means that they will not go back in 3 days. I think that Carrion and Kingfisher may either get trapped in Silvarin or they decide not to go back. There's like more they've got to do. Maybe they can't find Hayden within 3 days or something. Maybe he's been captured by Madra or something. I don't know. But I do have a feeling that the fact that there's now a gateway for them to communicate means that they're not going to be together physically. And then we'll carry on with this POV stuff all the way through.
Yeah.
I think when a series is a romance, and especially fantasy, I can think of another example of this. And I much prefer what Kelly Hart has done. When two people fall in love right at the beginning, and we saw this, we said this last week, we struggled with the dialogue between Kingfisher and Ceres because they were in love already. There was no chase, and there was like, they were mated and it was all fine and it was resolved. An author has to find a way to keep them apart, to keep the tension. And we've seen that in the Empyrean. There's several things that Rebecca Yarros does, which is really key. We see it in the worst possible way in Twilight. You haven't read it, but I think you've seen the movies, right?
No, the last one.
Okay, well, I'm talking about New Moon. But we won't go into in-depth spoilers. I like this. I like that Kelly Hart has put them in different realms, but actually they can still communicate. like I said, I do feel like the chapter was quite long, but it was interesting. I thought it was really clever how Kingfisher was there in his dream waiting to see if it became a nightmare because he didn't know whether the antidote had worked. Because if you remember, they got poisoned with the venom of Joshin, and they had to go back to Vorath Shaw's place to create the antidote. They had the antidote, and they were literally laid on the floor for hours. Him and Carrion just like sweated it out, had awful visions of their people coming back and actually just being mean versions of of themselves.
We had a sign that it was working because there's a part when Karen asks if he can still see dead people, and Fisher said no. So, okay, that is working.
Yeah, it seemed like it was working.
Yeah.
But Kingfisher didn't believe it until he was in the dream. And he actually thought when Ceres turned up in the dream, he thought that she was dead, and that was what the nightmare was. So yeah, that was the big revelation. And I think we will get more of that. We're going to get every few chapters them communicating with each other in dreams, because we know it was real because they exchanged proper information.
Yes. Yeah, it's not something that Fisher was just dreaming and pretending that Sarah was there, or Sarah was pretending
because it was actually
was there.
Ceres' point of view, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And he was just chopping wood.
Yes, which was a little bit weird because I thought he does everything with magic. So he does just, I don't know, take the wood and put it in the fireplace and just like.
Well, maybe he was just keeping himself. He had nothing to do but to chop wood shirtless.
Yes, so go outside when it's cold, shirtless, chop some wood.
Maybe he wanted to be close to his axe, just in case some other demon arrived.
Yeah, like, what can I do to look manly? I know, chop wood.
In that chapter, we get a pretty big revelation about Taladeus. We find out that Tal was engaged to Evelyn. But he left her at the altar, pretty much. He ran away. I say engaged, he was betrothed. Like the families were supposed to join. But he left her and joined the vampires because he was in love with Zavina.
Yes. So we knew there was a relationship between Tal and Fisher from a long time ago before Fisher, Taladeus was a vampire. I wasn't expecting they would be kind of like brothers-in-law. That he was kind of with Evelyn. So that was really cool. And also I think there's a really sad story between Savina and Tal, because it's giving me all the vibes that maybe Savina was maybe chasing Malcolm, or Malcolm won Savina. He was maybe, I don't know, feeling intrigued about the vampire style, and then maybe she was turning into a vampire, and then Taladeus was want to save her or something, maybe make a deal with Malcolm, offering his own life or service to save Savina, and then he turned everything for her, and then Savina joined Malcolm anyway.
Yeah.
Like I see the word like he sacrificed everything for her, and sacrifice didn't pay out.
Yeah, I thought that maybe Tal was in love with Zavina. He was clearly a Lycian royalty, but he was betrothed to Evelyn to bring the two royal families together. But he was in love with Zavina. I would say Zavina was probably not royal. She wasn't good enough for him. Good enough, inverted commas.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't love Evelyn. Evelyn didn't love him. Evelyn's in love with Ren. Ren's in love with Evelyn. I mean, that's obvious. And now this even seals that even more, because Ren hates Taladeus. Mm-hmm. And he hates Taladeus because he left Evelyn. Didn't want to be...
They were engaged or something.
Yeah. Probably jealous. Hated her anyway. And then chose Vampire over Lupa Proelia. But I wondered if Zavina had been turned and Tal went there to be with her, just to be with her, because he was like, I'd rather be a vampire than be without you. And then once she had turned, she wasn't interested in him at all.
Yeah.
And that would just be really sad, because then he lost everything. But there's still so much we don't know about Tal. Why does he own a pub? Like... what is his game? What is his long game? Why was Malcolm so scared of him? How did he manage to make it into the position of his second in command? So much we don't know about Tal.
He's really sad. That's something that we know for sure at this point. And that's one of the things that I was wondering as well, if maybe he give up everything for Sabina, and then Malcolm took advantage. And we know how creepy Malcolm is. Like maybe when he was with Fisher, and maybe he was doing something as well to
Tal. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. Ugh, he's awful. Yeah. But then we also know that Zavina and Tal are no longer.
No, there's no feelings there anymore. Any of them.
Zavina's awful.
Yeah.
Zavina's going to fall. Hayden's going to fall for Zavina when he comes back. Okay. Tal severing the bond with Cerys. What do you think about that?
I wasn't sure how to take this one, because he's saying that he's doing it first because he don't want to be a problem for Cerys and Fisher. And also it seems that he's struggling with the other vampires, because it's like he did it on purpose for him to take control of the whole kingdom. So it's like using Cerys as a puppet. And then he just wants to like leave clear that he has nothing to do with Cerys. And that's like the best way, giving all the freedom to Cerys. But at the same time, I don't know if there's something else going on here. That maybe Taladeus is just not telling all the truth about this.
Yeah, I'm sure he isn't.
Because I don't know if he did the same with Foley. Because it seems that Foley is still like one of his child. So if he doesn't want to like have responsibilities, or it's not like the thing that he wants, or it's just because she's the queen and then it's just too complicated.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he is still sire to Foley or whether they severed that tie.
Well, it seems that he knew all this time where Foley has been.
Yeah.
And I wonder if it's because the bond.
But maybe he doesn't want control over him. But so there's a few things that I'm not sure about here. One, I get it. I get why he needs to distance himself from Cerys in the views of the other lords, because he's too close to her and they think that she's his puppet. And then he has to make a spectacle of it, which I'm not sure what that means. It's going to be quite dramatic though, isn't it?
Yes.
And then she says, okay, that's fine, but on one condition, you be my second in command. And you're like, well, wouldn't that be the case anyway? And wouldn't it be weird if they make a big spectacle and they fall out and they have a big issue, but he's still her second in command? Is that not going to be a bit suspicious?
I don't know if when he said that they need to do something about it. If it's just like he need to create like a drama, you know, like a boyfriend and girlfriend breaking out, or it's something that they had to do like a ceremony in front of everyone, and then it's just
maybe
like a divorce basically, but in front of everyone.
But you don't have to do a divorce in front of everyone. Can you imagine?
Well, I was about to say a marriage, but it's not marriage.
Like a marriage, but the opposite of a marriage.
Yes.
Imagine if you had to actually go to the church and walk down the aisle to have a divorce.
Go backwards. So
yeah.
Divorce.
Rewind. Yeah, that would. But then you could have a party. Have a big divorce party.
Yeah.
Have two.
You can do that.
You could have one,
and then gifts as well.
Could have one
For your life as a single again.
No, maybe you have to return all the presents to the people before you get.
Yeah, I'm gonna return.
I have seen people have divorce cakes where they're like a wedding cake, but they've like kicked the bride or the groom off the cake, and they're like hanging on. Yeah, quite funny.
Yeah.
Well, I think we'll get to see that soon, won't we? So whatever the spectacle is and whatever it means, we will see it.
Yes. Okay. Is there anything you're struggling with?
Honestly, yes. I am struggling with some of the inconsistencies, which are purely down to ropey editing, that's all. So there's one which I know Callie Hart has confirmed, and she is devastated. Like, she's really gutted that it made it into the final edit. Loads of people are talking about this. We don't need to dwell on it. But Carrion is allegedly in the training room with Lorath, when he's clearly in Zilvarin with Fisher. But another one, which I was toying whether to bring this up, but I did struggle with it a little bit. Joshan
Yes.
can be defeated by light and fire.
Yes.
And Fisher is like nearly dying, trying to break the walls. And then once Joshan was like down, he had the tinderbox and the torches, and he just got out his tinderbox because he says Carrion should have fire, which is an interesting thing that we can talk about. But he was like, well, he can't make fire, so I'll just get out my tinderbox that my mum gave me and I'll light a fire on the torches. Could he not just have done that the whole time? Did he really need to break the walls? Is it specifically UV light?
Sunlight.
Yeah, but it's not, is it? Because he can set fire to him while he's still alive. So we know that fire defeats Joshan. So why didn't he just get the tinderbox and get the... Is this like a Harry Potter moment where Ron is like, are you a witch or not? When they're trying to defeat the devil's snare. They're like, light, fire, we need light. And he's like, so make a fire. But there's no wood. Yeah, but it just felt to me like the torches were there all the time. The tinderbox was there all the time. Why didn't he just use that rather than smash through the walls?
Yeah. Going for something less dramatic, less impressive.
I feel like there was a few more as well. And this is, again, like something that you would probably pick up on a beta read. Like, I love this book. I really do. I love the story. I'm not going to let a bit of inconsistency get in the way of like how I feel about the vibes of this book and the story. But honestly, like they do start, those things did stick out to me.
Yeah, I know that sometimes maybe just one thing it will change the whole story. Yeah. The other thing that I was struggling a little bit is with Taladea's on a pub, because for me it doesn't seems like it's the right thing for this kind of character. So I found it like a little bit weird, and I don't know if maybe it's because in that place there's not many businesses, there's not many opportunities, and obviously the pub is the only thing that he can get to be like somebody important, somebody that has money. But he is the second in command of the whole kingdom of the vampires, you know? So having this pub is just, it seems there's something so small, so simple.
Yeah, I think there's more to the pub. I think it might be a front for something. I feel like, so he wasn't always the owner of the pub.
It's 50 years ago.
Yeah, the barman used to actually be the owner. And something would have happened and Taladeus took over. I didn't struggle so badly with that. I did ask, like, oh, that's weird. Why does he own the pub?
For me, it just felt like out of character. That's why maybe we don't have all the information yet, and I'm hoping there's a reason behind this. Otherwise, if it's just because he's a business vampire.
He's a entrepreneur, vampreneur.
Vampire.
That's really hard to say. So I was struggling a bit more with the children in the pub. The pub did not seem like a nice place to be. There was like curtains and beds and people were just getting it on. And the Fae were enthralled to the vampires and they were just doing what they would say. And Lorith was making jokes like, what do you call a fully clothed Sanus Rothian? I don't know, I've never seen one. But there was children in the pub.
Yeah.
And that I struggled with. I thought like that didn't need to be a thing.
Yeah. Unless then maybe these children are like 100 years old, then don't seem like...
Yeah, but it's still, no, it's not. No, that's not right, is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was unnecessary, apart from possibly to show just how bad this place was. And that does make it seem a lot worse than if they weren't there.
Yeah. Other thing that for me was weird as well was when this Agathe was putting conditions to Sarah's, that she's the queen of Sanus Roth. And she is like taking those conditions as well. Why she didn't just say that, no, all this belongs to me.
I command you to do
I'm your
this.
queen. You don't tell me what to do. I tell you.
Yeah.
And we just felt, I don't know, like Sarah's our character here, or she just going to say yeah, whatever, and then do exactly what she wants anyway, or she actually is trying to impress Agatha when she shouldn't. So it was.
She did say.
Weird
So she
feeling
did
that.
say she was going to do it anyway, didn't she? So yeah, I don't know. I don't know whether she was just like playing a bit of a game.
Yeah, it's more like the condition with the books. You're lucky they're going to allow you to just have the whole book and not just a few pages. And then she was just getting on with all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other part was when Fisher and Karen goes to Madra's palace through the Quicksilver. So we know Madra, or what we think Madra is dead, and she might be expecting Fisher with more warriors because Saras is there. She's an alchemist. She can open the Quicksilver anytime, and then as many as she wants because she's making relics and that kind of stuff can cross. The other side of the Quicksilver pole, when Madra had the soldiers, for me, still feeling there's like underprotected for this kind of things because yes, there are warriors there and everything, but this is the only place where Fisher and all the army can go. I'm expecting that maybe Madra will have like pretty much like the full army or like a really heavily protected area there because that's the only entrance to her kingdom. But still feeling that it was just a few then. Fisher put everything black and they just move on really
I think
easy.
there was quite a lot of them, but Fisher's done it before.
Yes.
So he knows what to expect.
Yeah, exactly. So it should be more protected
But
because
she
it
didn't
happened
know.
before. I'm surprised if she didn't know this.
Oh yeah,
a
she
strange-
must have known.
Yeah, because he went out
And then carrying
and then
her.
came back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was still quite well protected though. I think they were just not able to get past Fisher's shadows. I think he's just so powerful that he managed to do it. Anyway.
Yeah. And last but not least, I'm surprised I was struggling that Karen didn't make any comments or jokes about Fisher round ears and no fangs. it was
Don't tell me you're struggling with
it
that.
was weird because that wasn't like that was a perfect moment for Karen to say something about it because Fisher was like, I don't want to even see myself as a human, and that's it. That was like the full comment about that he looks like a human at that point.
Yeah.
And Karen didn't say
You've
anything
had
at
bigger
all.
worries. Come on.
He wasn't
That's
worried.
a silly one.
Okay. Do you have any questions?
So many, as always. Super intrigued. When Loreth and Ceres are in the pub, we've talked quite a lot about that. Who was the cloaked person with Tal? So we're not given a gender. It says their hood was drawn up to conceal their features. If their meeting was so secret, why would they have gone to a pub? Maybe it was just Ceres that they were trying to hide from. And they knew that she wasn't going to be there, but all of a sudden she was there. Then he put a sound shield around them so she couldn't even hear what he'd said to that person. Were they on a Tinder date? Was it the next Lord of Midnight? Was it someone that we know?
Definitely is something because Taladea said to Sarah that guy was just Nanya. So that was pretty
None of your
sure.
business.
Yeah, it's pretty sure there's something going on there. But like you say, it could be the new Lord of the Midnight because he said they should be always 5.
Next question. What the fuck is wrong with Vorath Shah?
Yeah, we still don't know if he's actually a human or if he's Fae or
He's
what's
definitely
going
Fae.
on.
He's been looking after that demon for hundreds of years. The
Well, then
demon
maybe
trap.
he's taken the same potion the Madra has taken. So it's a human, but it's able to be immortal.
Maybe, but the thing that made me think he was Fae was, one, he's lived for thousands of years. 2, his heartbeat. Fisher made a point of being like thrum, 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 thrum,
Yeah,
not
like
thrum,
a
thrum,
Fae.
thrum, 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 thrum. Yeah.
Yeah, he was really calm. I
Yeah.
think is what Fisher
Even though
said.
he was pretending to be stressed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was sure he was Fae.
Mm-hmm.
But weird. He's weird.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that he is just there with that demon is just...
Did Madra know that she had a demon god hanging out in her bell tower?
It's a really good question, because so far it seems that she doesn't care about what's going on out of her palace as long as there are no Fae around. My other question about it is, how did demon go there in the first place?
To Zilvarin.
Yes, so did he went through the Quicksilver, through, I don't know, through Ivelia, through Salvaran, or demons get born in this realm as well?
He was just born there.
Yeah. So that's my question there. Are we sharing like the same demons in all the realms, or will be like specific demons for specific realms?
The thing that seems to be common is that they are trapped. So Mortil was trapped in Zilvarin in the maze, and that must have happened. It must be the Alchemist that set these traps that are like the spider webs. Joshan was trapped in the bell tower.
Mm-hmm.
We're definitely going to have to, I'm sure we're going to meet more, but yeah, I don't know how Joshan ended up in Zilvarin. Although he is king of the desert, maybe he was always there. And he does say that I've been there, I've existed longer than...
Like the city or something like this. Yeah.
Longer than anything, longer than the fates.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Don't know. This podcast is literally us being like, here's a question I don't know the answer to.
Welcome to the I Don't Know podcast, where you won't get answered, but you get a lot of questions.
Yeah. Will we find out more about the person that Carrion fell in love with?
I hope so, because it's definitely a really sad story there. And I think if we know more the details, we will get more connected to Carrion. And I think Kelly Hart, as an author, she will want that for this character as well.
Yeah. It must be so sad for him, because even though, like, this is a story about the love of his life, but he also loses his carer. Like, he loses his grandma, his mum, his, like, the person that looks after him every time. He always has to say goodbye to them, and that must be so heartbreaking. Like,
friends as well. Every friend that he makes, he knows that it won't last for him.
Yeah, and apart from Vorath, who's been around for thousands of years. But yeah, I feel like his current one, she's old, and she's, yeah,
maybe Karen was looking after her when she was a baby.
Yeah,
now
exactly.
Old lady. Yeah,
and that's what he said. It's like it got complicated. He said previously it was like a playmate, and then he was looking after them. Yeah. But it's going to be really sad every single time he loses that person, isn't it?
Yes.
And I have a feeling that we might get a chat between Ceres and Carrion. We've gone on the theory train really early this episode. We do have a segment where we're supposed to run through our theories, but I think we've been just like slipping them in. They could all be totally wrong, and everybody already knows that because they might have read on.
Oh yeah, all the people that have read the book already, they will know exactly if
we're talking rubbish
after something or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, the question that I have as well is about Guru and Foley.
I don't know. I thought it was really obvious. I just assumed that was canon. I just assumed that was the way it is. But I'm in a group chat with two people from my real life in-person book club. And they message, they've read it, and they're kind of there for emotional support as I read through it. And I told them that I'd happy cried when Foley appeared. And one of them had said something like, oh yeah, Foley just like casually hanging out with the cat. And I was like, wait, is Foley not the cat? And then, yeah, I don't know, they refused to entertain any more conversations.
They went back to read the book.
No, they were saying kind of like,
oh, maybe
I'm here for that theory. That's an interesting theory. They weren't giving me anything. I was like, did we not find that out? I don't know.
Maybe in this chapter we will see Foley with the cat in the lab.
Maybe.
Something.
I don't know. No, I don't know. Okay. They're doing very well at not giving me any spoilers, but I just assumed that was the way it was. Another question. So Sarah's found it really hard to say goodbye to Kingfisher, obviously, at the start. And Laura said something like, well, you couldn't have gone with them because of the sun. Like, you're weakest at midday. It's always sunny. So you can't, it's not the best place for a vampire. Does that mean that she can never return to Zilvarin?
She can, but she needs like an umbrella or something.
She needs a cloak, but she would stick out. Yeah.
The other question is, does she want to go back there because she's sending Hayden to her and sending Elroy? So
she's not sending Elroy.
Well,
she only sent
Hayden first.
It specifically says she sent a relic for Hayden. She gave Carrion a relic, she gave Kingfisher a relic, and she sent one for Hayden. She did not send one for Elroy, because that jumped out at me as being like, okay, so shall we flip the pages of the Oracle's notebook?
Okay.
This is the part of the show where we channel our inner eye, as Mummy Kingfisher would, and put our Oracle skills to the test, in the hope that we get at least something right before the end of the book. Like I said, I think we've been doing this a lot this time. But my feelings at the moment is that I expect that Fisher will have to rid the universe of demon gods, which is why his mum prepared him for all of them.
Yes.
So I think we're likely to see more fights between more demons. We've talked about what we might think they were earlier in the show. So
yes. I definitely think there's foreshadowing that at least we're going to find some of those demons that he mentioned before. Yeah.
I think that Ceres casually swearing to buy Algat some new velvet gloves because she shoved the old ones into Foley's mouth as a gag is going to come back and bite her on the ass. Foley says, be careful what you agree to, and she swears that she will buy some new velvet gloves. And I wonder if they are like special gloves that are unique that you literally cannot buy.
Yes. It's strange because it's just velvet. So it's not maybe they were from, I don't know, like leather, and then found out there's it wasn't leather, it was skin or something, like, something creepy. But it's velvet, so it has to be like a really specific
like
one.
Something.
Yeah.
I think that there's something that she probably can't replace, and she's now under an oath to buy her new ones.
Yes, or she just decided that she wants like a really expensive velvet glove from another round, and then she has to do it.
Like Balkida, up at where Ishabel's from, and that's why we need to go back there to get her some gloves or something. There's going to be something, isn't there, that links to these gloves? Because Foley was like, "Do not agree to anything."
Yeah,
and
that was a
like,
mistake.
"Stop it, boy."
Yeah.
So that was definitely a mistake that's going to come back.
Yes.
What you've got Ceres swearing things left, right, and center, and not thinking about the fine print. The devil being in the detail, and then you've got on the other side of the tree on a different leaf, you've got Kingfisher pulling the deal of a century that essentially says that he will keep the Scorpion King alive, but he doesn't
say
that he will keep him in the form of a tiny scorpion, a really angry scorpion that
keep him alive, but it didn't say the size or where he will be alive.
Yeah,
at the moment it's just in a little box.
Yeah, exactly. I still think the Lupoporelli are wolf shifters. I can't shake it. Just feels the vibe.
Still to me a reference about wolves howling and kind of stuff.
Yeah. Next week, I think we will find Hayden and Elroy. Although, as I mentioned, they did only take one spare relic. So I do think only Hayden will go back to Avelia with them. Don't think Elroy will go.
Yeah.
It is weird to me, though, that she didn't think of Elroy.
Yeah, it's true. For me, they think I'm hoping there is going to be more than a theory, something that's going to be in this book, as that we will see the Karen, he was maybe married with this woman that he loved so much, and then when she dies, he was completely broken, and that's why he's hiding the field with jokes, and there's such a like really bad, sad story that we're going to feel more in love with Carrion. He was in love with a woman. We don't know what happened there. He live with this woman until she was old and then she died, or something terrible happened and then she died young, but she died like in a way that was tragic. But I think there's gonna be like another Highlander moment here.
Okay.
Another thing that I'm thinking that is going to happen is that we're going to find out that Carrion, he's going to have powers, and the power that he's going to have is going to be same level as Fisher Shadows, or even better.
Yeah.
Because we know the Dianthus family, they were like a really powerful family. So I don't see why this is not going to happen.
I'm looking forward to his powers coming in. I'm surprised they haven't already in Avelia.
Manifestos. Well, he didn't have magic in Avelia, I think. Well, not in Avelia, Severin. Because Fisher is saying that his magic doesn't run same and
Yeah, but it's still very, very strong. It's strong enough to form a net. I mean, they do fall through it, so maybe not.
Yeah, but he needs to refill the magic.
Yeah, so I think we know that his mum or dad had fire. I would imagine this was King Rorik Dianthus, because you'd think that Fisher would know most about him.
Yeah.
He has fire magic, so he possibly has that. But I still think Carrion can read minds. I didn't spot any specific references to it now, but I do think he can read minds.
Yeah. That's a really good theory. I mean, you have reasons to think about it.
Yeah,
and
from
at
last
the moment,
week.
it's not being debunked.
Yeah.
My last theory about this section is in this moment when Foley was talking with Cyrus and he was just there to help because obviously he has a deeper connection with Alchemist. I think it will come a time that he is going to sacrifice himself for her, because it will be like closing the cycle perfectly. That the first time that he met Cyrus, he tried to kill her. And then if we go into the part that maybe he is saving her, like giving his life for her, that will maybe giving this honor as well, that he's dying maybe as a wolf doing the right thing, protecting his friend's mate.
Interesting. Do you think Kingfisher will see him again? Or do you think that will happen before Kingfisher gets back?
I think it will see him and then it will die.
Oh, wah, 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 wah.
It's tragic, but it's like something really powerful thing.
I was just thinking whether we got any more clues about Onyx, but Onyx was in the dream.
What's going on? He's sleeping, then he goes with Kingfisher, because I think he said the fox has been in his dream a couple of times as well.
Yeah, Adina.
It might be.
I'm still on that. Right. Okay. Sticking with the theme of precognition, let's look at the chapters we're going to cover next week.
So next week, we're going through chapters 21 to 31. And now, let's go to questions from the Quicksilver.
This is the part of the show where we listen hard to the ethereal whispers of the Quicksilver and dig deep into our souls for the answer. So last week, we asked, if by a sudden twist of fate you became the king or queen of a vampire kingdom, what would be your first law?
I think definitely I would say to everyone who has to swear loyalty to me. I don't want any, dodgy business.
So the same as what?
Like Malcolm
Sarah's
did.
kind of, what Malcolm did. Okay.
Yeah, because I would just only say that everyone stop attacking the other people, no more like wars, and no attacking his friends.
She's going for the Nobel Peace Prize, isn't she?
Yeah.
She wants the Peace Prize.
Not from the vampires, definitely.
Yeah.
What about you? What would you be your first decree?
So my first would probably be no children in pubs. No, I think it'd be something to do with the enthralled.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be do not take advantage of people who are enthralled.
Yes.
Got to get rid of those vibes. It makes me feel ill.
Well, not being allowed, so nobody is like the puppet or somebody else.
Yeah, well, you just can't take advantage of somebody in that situation. But then, how do you balance it? How do you balance? I'd maybe like animal blood only.
Everyone be kind of like vegan.
We're not vegan.
Well, they can't drink blood from vegetables, isn't it? So it has to be animals.
Yeah. So I didn't say vegan. I just said, but then I know that people can come after me for saying that an animal's life isn't worth the same. So maybe like dead people and animals, dead people and dead animals only. I don't know. I'm probably taking it too far.
Just milk and blood. That's it.
Milk with a tiny bit of donated blood. Yeah.
5 drops of blood.
What about like open blood donation banks across the Velia?
Yeah. I mean, you can buy blood.
Yeah.
If you have like a trade with the Fae. So you get your little bag with blood.
Yeah. Like rations.
Yeah.
Maybe. This week, so we suspect that Foley has been hiding as a cat and that there is more to Onyx than meets the eye. If you had to hide out as an animal for hundreds of years, what would you choose?
Oh, hundreds of years.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That's the thing. It's not just what animal would you like to be for a day? It's what animal would you like to be for hundreds of years?
Yeah. I mean, it has to be something useful as well. Something that is going to allow you to stay around for hundreds of years. Okay.
Get your thinking cap on. And that's all we've got time for this week. So don't forget to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Faithfully Fantasy Pod. Come and join the conversation. We'd love to hear if you're reading along with us. So if you've got thoughts, send them our way. Spoiler free beyond where we are at the moment.
And with this, we had just one more thing to say. Thank you for listening to Faithfully Fantasy,
the husband and wife podcast talking all things Brimstone.
We'll see you next week for our read-along of chapters 21 to 31. And of course, for more Faithfully Fantasy.
Bye!